Let's do the Lions will be the 2 seed or better for the playoffs.
$100. I think it could happen. My confidence level in them jumping either the Eagles or 49ers is, I don't think they're far off, especially with the Eagles. If you're asking me for confidence level, I think it would be a homer take of me right now because I'm so like high on this team to say, oh yeah, I got $500 like confidence level on this. I just don't yet. But I think it's a fair question. I wouldn't hate you if you top me with that.
Dave, I'm going to go 500 here. I believe that this team could honestly, looking up and down the schedule, this is not a difficult schedule. I cannot believe I'm saying this, 13 to 14 wins. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for these guys. I honestly think the Eagles have a tougher schedule.
Well, Brant, everybody in the NFL has a tougher schedule than the Lions. No, I'm serious. I read today that they have, as it stands today, their remaining schedule in the NFL is the easiest. The easiest, which makes sense if you look at this garbage NFC North. By the way, go Raiders.
By the way, let me just slip that in there. Go Raiders. And Jordan Love just threw another pick. Wow, right. It was that bad yesterday. Okay, so I got 500 on that. You had 100, I believe, right?
Yep.
Okay. Aidan Hutchinson will win the Defensive Player of the Year.
$100. I love Hutch. First of all, dude, the Lions are so lucky that the Jacks took Trayvon Walker. Hutch is the real deal, man. They got themselves an absolute dog. He impacts the game in so many ways. I mean, he's an edge rusher getting interceptions, like multiple interceptions over the last couple of years. He's putting pressure on the quarterback. He is that dude. Do I think that he's going to top like a Micah Parsons this year or even like a TJ Watt, Myles Garrett? Like, I have not looked at the odds yet, but I would imagine those guys are kind of like in the tier maybe just above him right now. He's going to have some significant numbers and not just impacting the game the way he is. He's going to have to start getting home a lot more and actually really tallying up some sacks, I think, to win this. So confidence level, it's 100 right now, but man, I'm high on Aidan Hutchinson. What about you?
He is officially third on FanDuel odds right now. He is
behind who?
Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett.
Okay. And ahead of TJ Watt and Bosa?
He just slipped ahead of TJ Watt and Bosa, yep.
Okay.
And then Chris Jones rounds out the rest of it. So, I think that I will put 100 here as well. I don't believe it's his time just yet, but a couple more one-handed picks, look out. And especially if he would have returned that for a touchdown, that would have been just an insane highlight. And that's like what we talk about. You have to have those lasting memories of like a defensive player of the year, right? Like you're always going to need the numbers, obviously. I get that. But it doesn't hurt to have a one-handed interception return for a touchdown anytime. So I will also put 100 on that, Dave. All right, let's go to your boy, Jameson Williams. He will score 5+ touchdowns this year.
Well, he's got to be able to make 5+ receptions first, Brant. That is the starting point. In order to have a touchdown, you got to catch the football. Look, $100 confidence right now. I'm going to sound off for just a minute. I am the biggest J-Mo supporter. Let me just preface it with that. I'm high on this kid. I'm not giving up on him or anything. I think several fans have called it in too early on him. I mean, they're hopeful that it works out, but I think a lot of people are out on him, including the head coach. It sounds like Dan Campbell has done this narrative no favors, which I appreciate about him. He's like praising Josh Reynolds, and J-Mo's just continue like, yep, he needs to show up and be reliable. Like, that's it. The narrative has not changed. Brant, it just like that first pass goes right through his hands and just he just hasn't done it yet. It doesn't mean he can't do it. It doesn't mean he won't do it. But as it looks today, I don't know how much he's going to see the field right now for these first few weeks. I hope they prove me wrong, but I genuinely believe Dan Campbell when he says like look, man, like we're 4-1. We're winning without you. So like either get on and figure this out or don't, and we're not going to play you. Dan Campbell does not care that they traded up to the 12th overall pick or whatever it was to get Jameson Williams. He doesn't care. The best guys are going to play. When you're a team like the Lions have been in the past where they destroyed this thing to the ground and have built it back up, and you want these guys to all get reps. You still want J-Mo to get reps. I'm not saying that you don't, but they're in a different space right now. They're not in the mode of let's get these young guys like as much repetition as we can and many snaps as we can. No, the Lions are competing for a Super Bowl this year. Like that take from me has not changed. And so I think that works not in Jameson Williams' favor as it is right now. He's going to have to do some significant growing, maturing, and be much more reliable, as Dan Campbell has said, for him to take off this year, or not even take off, but to just be a contributor, an impact player for this team, because he's just not there yet. So confidence level very low on that as it stands today, October 10th, when we record this. God, I hope to have a better updated take in like December. Brant, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go 100 here for all the things that you just said. Yeah, I mean, Dan Campbell kind of dunked on him, and I kind of appreciate that because it's a grit team, right? Like, you don't just walk in the door and be like, yep, you're back, that's great, you're going to get all these snaps. No, you got to go earn them. I don't care where you got drafted at. So I do like the fact that he is going to play other receivers over him right now. Josh Reynolds seems to be like a glue guy. He's a great blocker. He puts in the work. It's very obvious that him and Goff have great chemistry together. So I wouldn't mess with that right now. Dave, where this could probably get a little sticky for us is if they are winning all of these games and they are looking good at the end of the season and they are going to give J-Mo snaps, like he could probably score 2 or 3 touchdowns in one game. I mean, that's very possible for a talented guy like him.
Yeah. I'd love to see a Hendon Hooker to Jameson Williams touchdown this year. How about that?
How about it? All right, so let's go with a coach will be fired before New Year's Day. I don't know, Dave. Okay, before you answer this, I just want to put some context to this question. There has been so boneheaded NFL coaching blunders this year already, and it just seems like it happens weekly, and it is bad, dude.
Yep. It is, and there are some teams that are really, really bad. That being said, I don't know. I'm just looking right now at some of these bottom feeder teams right now.
So, Dave, if you remember, I asked the New Year's Day question because Nathaniel Hackett didn't even make it out of the year last year. Like, he didn't even make it to Christmas, dude. So I think that these NFL teams are getting faster and faster. It seems every single year to be like, nope, this is not even working. I can tell 12, 13, 14 weeks into your tenure, I want nothing to do with this. So that's where this question really springs from.
Here's your 1-win teams: Patriots, Broncos, Bears, Vikings, Giants, Cardinals, and then the 0-5 Panthers. All those teams are kind of on a different journey there. Go ahead. What were you going to ask me?
Do you think that if the Bears were to lose to the Commanders last week, that Matt Eberflus would have lost his job?
Very possible. Yeah, very possible. I mean, they were supposed to be better this year. They have managed to get worse. So I will say, I'm going to say $100. I just don't see any. As I'm looking at the names of these teams, I don't see anybody that's in a super big panic mode or with super high expectations that they're going to get canned before New Year's Day. I could see somebody getting canned, but it's not going to be Bill Belichick. It's not going to be Sean Payton. And, I mean, who knows? Yeah, maybe the Bears coach. The Cardinals, no. I mean, maybe the Panthers, but Brian Daboll's not getting fired for the Giants after he just took them to the playoffs last year. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go $100. What about you?
I'm going to go with $500, and I'm thinking the Bears coach is going to get canned. I mean, this thing is sour, and he saved his job, I think, really, Dave, last week. This is a really bad organization, coaching, execution right now from the players. Justin Fields and DJ Moore just literally brought everything that they had. And good for those guys. Like, I love that for DJ Moore that got traded. He thought he was going to be in a great spot with Justin Fields. Even though Justin Fields went to Ohio State, I've got no ill will for him. Like, I want to see him succeed. And it just seems like the coaching to the execution has not been on the same page. It's been really bad. And I wouldn't mind seeing somebody else come in there with Justin Fields. So I think he will be fired before New Year's Day. So I'll put 500 on it, though. All right, Dave. The greatest name maybe in the NFL right now, Puka Nacua. Who doesn't love this guy? Like, he just seems like a grinder, goes about his business.
My parents were going to name me Puka, and then they went with Dave. So, like, I know. Come on, Mark and Deb.
Do better.
Do better.
Will he lead the NFL in receptions this year? Currently sitting at 46, Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson sitting at 36. So he has a 10-catch lead.
Yeah, I love this Puka kid. I really do. His story is awesome, too. I really like him. Cheering for him, actually. I don't think that he will lead the NFL in receptions this year, so confidence level, I'm going to put it at $100. I think most of that has to do with Cooper Kupp coming back. You know, pending he stays healthy, he's got to take some of those receptions from him. So I'm going to say no. My vote, I mean, Justin Jefferson just went on IR, so RIP to my fantasy team. My vote would probably be Tyreek Hill. He's just insane right now this year. And if he stays healthy, that he would have my vote. I haven't looked at Amon-Ra St. Brown's numbers either. I know he obviously missed last week, but like he's another dude that's just like Mr. Reliable, going to get a lot of targets. So no, I'm going to say no on Puka Nacua.
Dave, I'm going to put 1,000 on this, and let me tell you why. You made my point for me. Cooper Kupp is back. Cooper Kupp is going to take a lot of attention. Cooper Kupp is going to grab a lot of dudes and bring them his way, and it's going to open up Puka Nacua. And you've already seen how good this guy is. I mean, he's already almost at 50 catches. That's insane. Like, that's almost 10 catches a game right now. It's crazy. Good for him. Like you said, great story. Love everything about it. And I'll put 1,000 that he will lead the league in reception. I mean, he's already got a 10-catch lead. So, and I can kind of bank on Tyreek's going to miss some games, right? Like, Tyreek has kind of that MO, like, oh, my pinky toe kind of hurts this week. I don't really need to play. I'm going to rest up. So,
don't you dare talk about the cheetah that way.
So, Dave, let's get the last question in here. Bill Belichick will hang it up after this year. Confidence level on that.
Let's hope so.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's real ugly over in New England. I think if they continue on this trajectory right now, I don't see him coming back. I'm going to put 500 on it. I think this is it for Bill Belichick. I think the NFL has passed him by. He needs to leave for his sake. He does not need to stick around and try to see this thing through and prove to everybody that it was him, not Tom Brady. Because clearly, Tom Brady already won that argument. So, Bill, hang it up. Potentially the greatest coach of all time. I mean, he's going to be right up there in that conversation. It's time to leave. What about you, Brant?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 100 on this, actually. I don't trust him to walk out the door. And I don't trust that Robert Kraft can walk into his office and say, you know what, Bill? Intervention time. It's over. So I don't see that happening this year. Maybe next year, I guess. He's got that burning desire to prove everyone wrong, that it was not just Tom. And I don't think that just goes away. I think he's going to give it a couple more cracks maybe. I don't know for sure. But I can tell you, the more that the Patriots allow him to do this, he's in charge of the drafting, he's in charge of the free agency, he's in charge of everything that goes on there, and he's furthering you into the grave. Like, that's happening.
Oh, yeah. Brant, what if he comes back next year in the fall with like some Deion Sanders prime sunglasses on? Just
dude, and he calls Tom Brady's and like, I'm sorry, can you come back, please? And like Tom comes out on the field.
Do you mind?
Let's go,
dude.
Just scream.
You already know, man. That phone is ringing.